Welcome, fellow time travellers, to Historic Adventures. Today, our journey leads us to the enchanting Finchale Priory, where history whispers through ancient stones. Join us as we unravel the tales woven into the tapestry of Finchale's park. Let the adventure begin. Finchale Priory, correctly pronounced as Finchale, traces its roots back to the fascinating life of St Godric, a dynamic individual born circa 1070. After a diverse journey as a sailor, merchant and pilgrim, St Godric felt a compelling calling to embrace the contemplative and solitary life. Choosing Finchale as his abode, he lived there until reaching the remarkable age of approximately 100. A quarter of a century following his demise, St Godric's hermitage evolved into the esteemed Finchale Priory. By the mid-14th century, the priory took on an additional role, serving as a retreat destination for monks hailing from Durham, its parent monastery. This establishment, with its rich history and connection to St Godric, has woven a tapestry of spiritual significance and cultural heritage. Finchale's rich narrative unfolds through the enduring vestiges that bear witness to its history. These remnants encompass the inaugural church and tomb of St Godric, an embodiment of spiritual legacy, as well as the pastoral sanctuary cultivated by the Durham monks, a retreat nestled in the serene expanse of Finchale Priory. In accordance with the historical account penned by his biographer, the esteemed monk Reginald of Durham, Godric's origins trace back to Walpole in Norfolk, where he was born into humble circumstances within a financially modest family. Manifesting an early proclivity for commerce, Godric commenced his professional journey as a peripatetic peddler. Swiftly transitioning to a maritime vocation, he adeptly evolved into a prosperous merchant, engaging in trade activities spanning across Scotland, Denmark, and Flanders. During his extensive travels, Godric embarked on multiple pilgrimages, notably a significant journey to Jerusalem around the year 1102. In the historical records of May during that period, a vessel under the command of Godric, identified as a mariner hailing from the Kingdom of England, is documented transporting King Baldwin I of Jerusalem to Jaffa. This event followed the king's unfortunate defeat in battle. It is important to note that the designation pirate in this context may not carry the modern implications it does today. Rather, it likely referred to Godric as an independent seafarer devoid of the negative connotations associated with piracy in later times. On his maritime return from Jerusalem, Godric embarked on a significant pilgrimage to the revered shrine of Santiago de Compostela in northern Spain. If we consider the documented journey in the year 1102, Godric emerges as the earliest English pilgrim for whom a pilgrimage to Santiago can be precisely dated. As Godric made his way back from Jerusalem by sea, his path led him to the sacred shrine of Santiago de Compostela in the northern expanse of Spain. The historical records of 1102 mark Godric as a trailblazer, being the earliest documented English pilgrim to embark on the revered journey to Santiago de Compostela. In his travels, Godric embarked on pilgrimages, exploring sacred sites such as Lindisfarne and the Farne Islands along the Northumbrian coast. These journeys exposed him to a wealth of narratives recounting the life of St Cuthbert, a hermit of great renown. The impact of these experiences was profound and transformative for Godric. Around the year 1104 or 1105, Godric decided to relinquish his maritime pursuits, opting instead to embrace the life of a hermit. Initially, he sought solitude in the natural sanctuaries of caves and woodlands. Eventually, he found companionship with an elderly hermit in the serene environs of Walsingham in Upper Weardale. Their shared solitude provided a contemplative backdrop for Godric's spiritual pursuits. Upon the passing of his companion, Godric embarked on a final pilgrimage to Jerusalem, enriching his spiritual journey. Subsequently, he returned to the northeastern reaches of England, where the echoes of his pilgrimages resonated in the landscapes that had shaped his transformative path. In the latter part of 1112 or 1113, Godric, residing in Durham at the time, became acquainted with Finchale, situated a short distance downstream along the River Wear. With the consent of the landowner, the Bishop of Durham, he established himself in this new location. Initially selecting a hermitage approximately a mile upstream from Finchale, identified today as St Godric's Garth, he eventually relocated to the present site of the Finchale Priory ruin. It was here that he would spend the final 6 decades of his life. In this chosen locale, he erected a humble dwelling crowned with a turf roof, alongside a chapel adorned with a crucifix, an effigy of the Virgin Mary, and a resonant bell. His hermitic existence was characterized by austere practices, frequent prayers, conducted immersed in frigid waters, whether within the nearby river or a purposefully embedded barrel in the chapel's floor. A rigorous regimen unfolded, featuring frequent fasting, the wearing of a hair shirt and chainmail, and slumber with a stone serving as his pillow. In addition to enduring these self-imposed adversities, Godric faced further challenges in approximately 1138, when he fell victim to a robbery and assault by marauding Scots. His resilience was further tested around 1150 when he narrowly escaped a flood triggered by the Wear River bursting its banks. In a gesture of gratitude for his providential survival, Godric undertook the construction of a new church dedicated to St John the Baptist. This new ecclesiastical edifice was intricately connected to his pre-existing chapel through a thatched walkway, akin to a cloister. In the realm of solitude, his existence was not devoid of familial connections. Following his arrival, his mother, brother, and sister chose to establish their abodes in close proximity over the subsequent years. Among the esteemed seekers of counsel who sought his wisdom were notable figures such as Thomas Becket, Aelred of Revaux, and Pope Alexander III. The esteemed King William the Lion of Scotland himself graced him with a personal visit, adding a regal touch to the tapestry of his consultation. In the latter years of his life, Godric humbly yielded to the jurisdiction of Durham Cathedral Priory. With advancing infirmity, he welcomed the presence of one or more monks from Durham who took up residence alongside it. Enduring 8 years of bedridden existence within the confines of his modest church, sustaining himself solely on milk and grappling with recurring bouts of despondency and irritability, Godric ultimately passed away around the venerable age of 100 on the 21st of May in the year 1170. His final resting place lies adjacent to the north wall of his church, marked by a cross gracing the verdant expanse. After the passing of Godric, the Durham community commissioned 2 monks, namely Reginald and Henry, to assume residence in his hermitage. Consequently, Finchale evolved into a modest yet subservient monastery under the jurisdiction of Durham. By 1196, it attained the status of a priory in its own merit. This transformation occurred when the monks of Durham successfully persuaded Henry du Puys, the son of Bishop Hugh du Puist of Durham, to bestow upon Finchale the endowments he had initially granted to another monastery. In its heyday, the priory thrived as a prominent pilgrimage destination. While its initial monk count stood at 10, a pivotal grant issued in 1278 mandated the addition of 5 more monks. This augmentation aimed to better accommodate the growing influx of pilgrims and destitute individuals drawn to the revered shrine of Godric, enhancing the priory's capacity to host and support these devoted visitors. In the annals of ecclesiastical evolution, Godric's ancient church endured the passage of time, steadfast amidst the emergence of a novel sanctuary. The venerable chapel, a tribute to St Mary, underwent a meticulous reconstruction upon its original footprint, seamlessly intertwining with the northern appendage of the contemporary church. This architectural endeavour, characterised by deliberate precision, spanned multiple decades, with the commencement potentially deferred until the 1230s. In the initial decades of the 14th century, numerous monastic establishments in the northern regions of England experienced a significant contraction in their scale. This reduction primarily stemmed from the economic repercussion of prolonged conflicts between the English and the Scots. Within the confines of Finchale specifically, a mere handful of monks, numbering approximately 5, were found to inhabit the premises. The state of the monastery structures reflected the adverse impact of this era, characterised by financial strain and neglect. In the 1360s, the monks articulated a dual response to the evolving circumstances. Initially, they undertook a strategic reduction in the dimensions of their church, skillfully eliminating the aisles and other auxiliary structures. Concurrently, a meticulous renovation of the prior's residence took place, signifying its newfound centrality in the communal life of this compact religious community. This restructuring reflected a deliberate shift in focus. Simultaneously, the monks directed their efforts towards elucidating Finchale's pivotal role, which, over an indeterminate period, had functioned as a retreat for the monks of Durham. Finchale continued to fulfill this significant purpose until the era of the Suppression, marking a noteworthy chapter in its historical trajectory. In the year 1408, a set of regulations were meticulously crafted to delineate the operational framework of the establishment colloquially referred to as the holiday home. According to this structured arrangement, a quartet of monks would sojourn at Finchale for a duration of 3 weeks, each cycle meticulously overseen by both the prior and an assemblage of 4 resident monks. The prescribed routine mandated that, on alternating days, 2 among the 4 sojourning monks were entrusted with the solemn duty of participating in all customary church services. Concurrently, the remaining duo, while dutifully attending Mass and Vespers, were granted the liberty to traverse the fields in a manner befitting religious propriety and moral rectitude. In the realm of historical inquiry, the extent to which the Finchale monks adhered rigorously to their prescribed rules remains a matter of ambiguity. Historical records make mention of instances where the monastic community faced censure for maintaining sporting dogs and participating in hunting activity. However, it is imperative to contextualize these admonishments within the broader landscape of the late Middle Ages, where such transgressions were a recurrent grievance. It is plausible that during this period, the possession of sporting dogs and engagement in hunts may not have been perceived as a flagrant violation of the solemn vows undertaken by the monks. The esteemed role of the prior at Finchale was a coveted position, typically held by individuals of notable stature. The final occupant, William Bennet, departed from the tradition, choosing to marry shortly after the Suppression, relieved him of his monastic commitments. This departure from the norm led to the creation of a local proverb: "The prior of Finchale hath got a fair wife, and every monk will have one." It is noteworthy that following the Suppression, only a minority of monks in northern England chose the path of matrimony, with the majority steadfastly maintaining their enduring religious convictions. In the wake of the suppression of Finchale Priory in 1538, historical records offer scant insights into the subsequent fate of its architectural edifices. While certain sections continued to serve various purposes, the majority succumbed to the inexorable forces of decay, gradually descending into dilapidation. Notably, evidence of this decline manifests in the repurposed utilisation of pilfered stone from the priory structures, discernible within the construction of neighbouring farm edifices. In the 18th century, deliberate alterations to the landscape were undertaken through targeted demolitions, aimed at enhancing the aesthetic appeal of the site. This period witnessed a cultural shift where the allure of ruins and romantic landscapes gained prominence. Subsequently, during the 19th century, a surge in antiquarian interest prompted dedicated efforts towards the restoration and preservation of the substantial historical remnants on the site. In the 1920s, following the intervention of the Office of Works' predecessor to English heritage, the Priory came under state guardianship. Sir Charles Peers, overseeing this effort, diligently supervised the removal of fallen debris and conducted excavations in various sections of the site. Notably, he meticulously traced the foundations of St John's Church, situated within the 13th century monastic church's east end. During these excavations, Peers unearthed a stone coffin precisely positioned where Reginald of Durham had described the saint's grave, adjacent to the north wall. The dimensions of the coffin were revealed to be 1.57 metres, 5 feet 2 inches in length, tapering from 41 centimetres 16 inches at the shoulders to 17 centimetres 7 inches at the foot. This stark size differential served as a poignant reminder of Godric's slender build and diminished physical state resulting from his prolonged illness. Despite these meticulous efforts, Godric's remains had long since disappeared, leaving his final resting place shrouded in mystery and lost to the passage of time. To begin our adventure, head to the city of Durham. If you're arriving by train, Durham Railway Station is your gateway. From there, you have a couple of fantastic options to reach Finchale Priory. The picturesque walking trail. For those craving a scenic stroll, take the Durham Riverside footpath. It's about a 3-mile walk that unveils the beauty of the river wear and surrounding landscapes. Don't forget your comfy walking shoes. Or if you prefer the comfort of 4 wheels, set your sat-nav to DH15SH Finchale Priory. The drive offers glimpses of the English countryside, and parking is available on site for a £4 fee upon exit using your magic contactless Visa or debit card. Not everything in life is free. Ha ha ha! As you approach Finchale Priory, the awe-inspiring ruins come into view. telling tales of centuries past. Founded in 1196, this former Benedictine priory is steeped in history, offering a serene escape from the hustle and bustle of modern life. Now, let's explore the grounds. Wander through the well-preserved ruins, admire the stunning architecture, and imagine the lives of monks who once called this place home. Before you go, take a moment of tranquility by the riverbank. It's the perfect spot for reflection and enjoying the beauty that Finchale Priory has to offer. And there you have it, fellow travellers. Whether you choose the scenic walk or a leisurely drive, Finchale Priory is a journey back in time that's well worth the visit. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Finchale Priory. If you've enjoyed the historic wonders we've uncovered, don't forget to show some love by liking and subscribing. Your support fuels our historic adventures. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll see you soon for more tales from the past.